You speak of respecting religions, and I agree with this with regards to, anybody can say anything about Christians and
Yeah.
there be nothing,
Yeah.
no repercussions whatsoever. Do you think the concept, which I think is overinflated with the media, but the concept of suicide bombings, I'll die for Allah, make people a bit fearful to just
Which people?
speak
Black people?
anyhow, people to just speak anyhow about the Muslim religion? Do you think that has or do you think it's specifically just how they carry themselves and how they honor their God?
So for South African men, I would say it's how they honor their God. Here in South Africa, we don't think about bombings and all that. I mean, just you looking at her, she's dressed up, she's not exposing. The way you approach is completely different. Just the culture. So I think it's how they carry themselves over the bombings for South African men.
This is going to be a tricky one. I know that your knee-jerk reaction is going to be like, no. But if you see a naked woman, do you feel you cannot respect her?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on the cultural aspect.
The context.
Where
the context of it.
Crop top,
I don't respect you. That one is simple. I don't respect you.
Oh, is it?
Same woman, go mahayeng. That context is completely different.
Matwela out, she's picking water from
I
the...
fully respect you because of that cultural context. But if we are at club, I don't go to clubs. I don't know what clubs are there in South Africa.
Yeah, I also don't know anymore.
Yeah,
They've
whatever
changed
those
over
clubs
time.
are that are in South
I think the
Africa.
Konka is Yavala. Not sure.
Yeah, whatever.
What's the reasoning behind this, guys? What is the reasoning? Yeah.
I'm socialized by American media that when you are in that space, you are that thing. And then you also validate it. You call yourself a bitch. You also assimilate to what we've seen in music videos from the USA. So now you want us now to no, bitch is just a word, but now there's the word bitch and the behavior as well as music videos. So now how? Which one is it? So for me, that's why.
Dave Chappelle in one of his stand-up comedies makes an example of you in a space and someone collapses. And Utebs was wearing a white coat and a stethoscope.
Yep.
Doctor, please help.
100%.
And he's like, hey, Baba, who said I'm a doctor? It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's just you're wearing the doctor uniform.
Yebo.
And he's like, so with a lot of these women, I don't know whether you're a hoe or not, but you're wearing hoe uniform.
Yebo.
So I'm addressing you based on how you're dressed and our stereotypical view of that. I used to have dreadlocks in varsity and just after. The number of people that would walk past me, hey, Rastafari, hey, Jama.
I was called Ja Lady, so I had to cut them off. Yeah,
you had to cut them off.
I had to.
You were getting respect. African queen.
Ja Lady.
Hey, Ja Lady, hey. You didn't like that?
People wanted to sell me dang. I didn't even know what dang was until I had dreadlocks. I had to buy dang. Dang.
But you got a lot of respect. Guys were approaching you in a certain way.
I'm a black South African woman.
So the treatment wasn't different, is what you're saying?
I'm saying black South African women generally don't get respect.
I'm trying to figure out, sorry, just in your personal experience, when you had dreadlocks to now, has the treatment been the same, or was it worse then or better then?
To be honest, depends on the context.
Just generally. So it's the same?
The same.
The same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I had dreads and people would give me that. And then there'd be times when I'd grow my beard. There was a time my beard was at its max. The way even a woman speaks to you, the way other people when they approach you speak to you. Silly things like wearing a suit. Yep. A guy who wears a suit and comes in here, even us when we speak to him. So if even women can understand that, then they should be able to understand. We're not judging you per se. We're judging what we're being presented with. And if you want to change that, it's really up to you. You can break the mold. I'm a CEO. I'm a game changer and I want to wear a thong and it's fine. I'm going to break the mold. It's okay. Go be a trailblazer, whatever the case may be. Go break the rules. We appreciate that, of course. But for the average person, it's still going to be that.
I'm not a CEO. I'm not a trailblazer. I am a prostitute. Yeah. Am I less deserving of your respect?
No, now you're speaking about a profession now. We're speaking about a different setting. The profession is different.
Please answer the question.
Sir?
Please answer the question.
No, I'm saying that's a profession.
Yes, but please answer the question.
That's great.
Oh, you're answering it.
So you don't mind an actual prostitute? Is it? We're not allowed to say prostitute. I think it's called a sex worker now.
Prostitute is derogatory.
Yeah. We had a sex worker on the show, on the Conversation Capital. I watched the Conversation Capital.
Edit that out. We don't need any pub shout-outs that...
No, yeah, and she taught us that I think you have to say sex worker. I also didn't know that until then. I had to double check, yeah.
A lot of these things were not taught, man, that we can't call a person this and a that. And
Yeah, true. I'm not even going to say it out loud, but I learned that the way we would call Indians in SA is actually derogatory.
It is derogatory.
That one,
I did not know that. I thought it was like just the way South Africans said it.
One of the cool things
Until
is that
recently.
the Indian community generally lets it slide.
Yeah.
Is it?
But that's got to do with self-validation
Exactly.
and not needing... You're not going to lose your money. Like, oh, you're going to
means
call me
nothing.
that? As long as you want to leave your money here, Bosh.
You'll buy by my
Leave your money here and let's keep it moving.
I didn't know that. But okay, fine. So you're saying that if it's a profession and she is a sex worker, you can give her respect in that context. But she's a young girl. She comes from home. She was wearing jeans. She took the jeans off, shoved them in her bag. Then you can't respect her. Then she went to go groove, half naked. And she didn't leave her home with her mother and father dressed like
She's
that.
not a prostitute, though.
No.
Let
me
That's
refine,
when you...
let me refine your question.
Yeah.
Do you have more respect for prostitutes than ordinary women who dress like
Yes.
sex workers?
Yes.
And maybe the question would be why?
Yeah. No, that's you're working for survival.
Okay.
For survival.
No.
Is that the story of sex workers?
No, not all of them, guys.
Okay.
Yes, man. You know, some people...
Because you're making it seem like it's a sad thing. Like, oh,
no,
but she's surviving.
it's for you to survive. Only you've got a kid, you need to take care of your grandparents or whatever. You know, you're making a plan. The issue with the other person is that you want me to view you differently. You want me then to also respect you. Like, when you see me, you want me to impose a certain on how I must view you. But your behavior has that behavior of that prostitute.
But why do you treat her worse than a prostitute? Why do you respect her worse than a prostitute? Why don't you just give her the same respect? Like,
No,
hey,
the
I
prostitute
think
made
this is a sex worker.
They made a decision that I'm going to prostitute for survival. The other one, it's trickery. We don't know if you're a prostitute, you're not a prostitute, and you want us
Is
to
it
treat
because
you
she's
in
not
a certain
presenting
way.
herself as a sex worker?
Yeah, she might just present herself as a
That's
sex
all.
worker. Yeah,
Your issue is just that.
Yeah, Nadia Pais, okay, sharp.
Pen?
But now, yeah.
No, but now?
No, but now you want us now to view you differently. That's just my thing. But generally, me as with them, I don't respect people who just love showing their bodies.
Even men.
I haven't seen it, so my mind can't even fathom. Can't even go
Half
that
naked
far.
men at the gym, the muscle top, the wife beater. You know those ones that come all the way down. They're
Maybe on
showing us there.
socialize. No, women will answer that. That thing's not a.
You
I
feel
don't
like
see
it's
them
not
in
a
the-
thing.
And men,
You don't mind male nudity. You mind female nudity.
This is going far.
No, not nudity like that.
Go gymming, grandy, or whatever. Mara in a space where we're a club.
Like
And
a
you
man's nipple does not offend you, but a woman's nipple does. I just want to understand that.
Where are we?
At a club.
Yeah, and she's wearing some lacy top, and you can see her nipple, and it's cute, and it offends you. A man
It
wearing a
doesn't
similar
offend me.
lacy
I just
top.
don't respect you. I don't even talk to you. I don't even approach you. So you and I won't even have the conversation in the first place.
Yeah.
Because
You have double standards.
yeah, it's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
And you also don't affect my life. So I can have my opinion and then we leave it at that. You're not going to talk to me. I'm not going to talk to you. So it doesn't really mean much. But I can have my opinion and we leave it at that. Once you try to convince me, then we can have the engagement.
Okay.
Yeah.
With you, Pen, what's that level of respect that you would offer, like a fully dressed woman versus a half naked woman? What's
At a club.
at,
The context. The
no,
context is...
to be honest, I'm talking. Yeah, Zoto Bantu, anybody. I just want to know what is it that says this one deserves my respect?
I'm trying to figure out if I actually judge women who are half naked. I'm trying to figure that out. I know I mentioned like Muslim women and the likes. It's tricky for me. I don't know, but I will say, I struggle respecting people who want to present themselves as something that doesn't fit in what they want to be treated differently from what they present as.
Exactly.
I think I have an issue with that. And that includes men, women, whatever the case may be. It's, you are a politician, you are a medical doctor, you are a preschool teacher, but we're at a place and now you're snorting cocaine and you're twerking and I mean, and I'm like, yo, but you're meant to be like a political leader of the people, or you're meant to be looking after young kids, but you're busy twerking and getting drunk. I don't know. I guess it's the misalignment, presentation versus what you want to be seen as. Maybe I struggle with that. But in terms of women who are mostly naked,
and she's not claiming to be a Christian girl.
She's just a normal chick. Do I look at her worse? I'm not like Debs, where I look at a woman who's half naked. I'm like, ew. Nah, I don't think I have an issue with that. I have an issue with women who pretend to be high moral and then the stereotype that they're pushing. I've got celebrity examples. I just won't mention the names.
Yeah,
where I'm like, no, you can't be a child of the Most High and Jesus is my savior and what. Then when I look at how you're moving, I'm like, this is not Christian behavior. It's like, oh, but Pen, you're not a Christian. I'm like, this has got nothing to do with me. It's got to do with this institution they claim to represent.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, man.
And some of them, this thing of, look, I'm this girl, I behave this certain way that we're speaking about. And then there's this thing of, are we marriage material? That thing is boxed in a certain way. For a man to marry a woman, she has to dress a certain way. Unless you are these boys, I can't, even those guys
So
who marry these girls, and it doesn't
So
make
judgy.
sense. But anyway, majority of the men, because one of the issues, as Pen now is speaking, is that they want to be this thing that, like, I can also be marriage material and still be this thing. And I'm like, but how? How does that make sense? You can't want to be this woman who's clubbing every single weekend. You are dressing in this certain type of way, and then you say, can you also view me as marriage material? Can you also view me as a Christian? I'm like, now you're confusing us.
I'm a leader. Trust me. I'm reliable. But I'm
Kanjani?
always emotional and I get triggered. I'm like, yo, I don't think I can vote for you.
No.
Emotional, wena.
No.